Hello, everyone. Bitcoin is back and completely back. And one way we can tell it's completely back is by the fact that we had one of our biggest Bitcoin accumulation days by sharks and whales in a long time. That's right, Sunday, and Palm Sunday at that. 52,000 Bitcoin by sharks and whales, those holding between 10 and 10,000 Bitcoin. Now, that might seem like a wide range, but let's not forget something like 90% of Bitcoin holders hold below zero point 0.1 Bitcoin. So, not too bad when you look at it that way. The bigger players, not the uber big players like BlackRock, of course, not counting the funds or MicroStrategy, but the medium to big size players. And 10 Bitcoin, let me remind you, is something like $700,000. So that's a lot of money. So anyways, those players have accumulated 52K Bitcoin on Sunday alone. Caught us by surprise. That's why we went up so much on Sunday. At least part of the reason we went up so much by Sunday. Whales are not selling into the halving. They are accumulating into the halving. And that might be something that's different from the times before when they were selling into the halving. And I do think they are being inspired by the ETFs. And I do think that ends the pre-halving retrace. We dipped 17%, but we came back up. So they accumulated 51,959 Bitcoin, about 52,000 Bitcoin on March 24th, worth around $3.4 billion at the time. And that's in addition to all the stuff that's accumulated by BlackRock and MicroStrategy. So that is a huge amount of Bitcoin. That's like, I think, not quite all the Bitcoin MicroStrategy has, obviously, but that's 1/4 of the Bitcoin that MicroStrategy has. So instead of selling out towards the halving, they are accumulating towards the halving. And of course, that completely destroys any kind of pre-halving retrace, and that gets us going back up. Some people are expecting a much bigger retrace following the 17 to 18% retrace we had over last week, but like I said, that was mainly to Grayscale selling on the Genesis stuff, and there is a very, very limited amount they can sell, and they sold almost all of it. So now with BlackRock, Fidelity, and these sharks and whales accumulating, we are back and we are stronger than ever, and I don't think we're really going down that much again. Will there be kinks? Of course there will be kinks up and down. Would I play 300x leverage? No, I would not play 300x leverage. I think that's dumb. But either way, if you're just buying and holding, good times are ahead as Bitcoin faces massive demand from all sides, and that demand is not going away. I have a feeling that we're going to have several of these 40, 50 day accumulation days as we head into the Bitcoin halving, because everyone knows the supply is being crunched, big whales are buying in, and that Bitcoin ain't going to be there forever, and there's a lot that's just not available to be sold, held by older wallets and other whales. So that is very, very good news indeed, that people are accumulating on such a short notice and how much they're accumulating. So that is obviously a very good report for us investors. Got to talk about Ripple. They have their AMM pool launching, and there's been a problem. Houston, we do have a problem. And they've addressed it, but they have advised user caution. So due to continuing technical issue, so it looks like they didn't fix this as of yesterday. And it looks like they still recommend its users no longer deposit funds into the affected AMM pools. Now, this might be a little bit of a problem because there were people skeptical of the AMM pools on Ripple already. Not so much me, because I just treat these AMM pools like any other AMM pools, but there were a lot of people on XRP Twitter that were saying that why should we put our coins in these AMM pools? All we have to do is hold and wait for some of those conspiracy theory things to happen. That's not actually an investment strategy, because those conspiracy things, the things that they've been predicting about banking domination, all that stuff, all those different things, they've never happened and they're not going to happen. So I do think the AMM is a very good development for XRP, but obviously there are a lot of kinks to work out. The glitch disrupts transactions and pools, which has prompted the management to update users about fund deposits. According to a post on X social platform, the technical team at RippleX has identified a discrepancy in a limited number of AMM pools on the XRP ledger. So it's not every single AMM pool. You should read their Twitter for more information. And this is kind of a big deal. I don't I don't think people are making enough noise about the XRP AMMs, especially not the XRP community. They're still too like obsessed with the whole banking thing, which obviously is not working right now, being the global bridge currency because no one's actually using it as a bridge currency. Pretty obvious at this point that that's mostly going to be stable coins if they actually need coins at all to bridge. But at this point, like I think the AMMs are the most realistic shot XRP has of getting really big gains. So I think this is a bigger deal than they think. The AMMs themselves, of course, the bugs with the liquidity pools, they have to work out. I don't really have any doubts that they'll work this out sooner or later, but it may take some time. And I think, like, every day counts, especially because everyone else already has AMMs. And establishing a liquidity pool, allowing people to actually earn yield is very, very important to the attractiveness of your coin. Because right now, they're not really attracting any more new investors with the grandeur theories. Because after 6 years of like no delivery, a lot of people are starting to peel off from the project, and they're not really they're not getting too many new believers from like the hype that they keep producing, because everyone's kind of used to like, the endless amounts of hype that XRP has actually produced over the years and not delivering on any of that hype. So more or less, like the AMM is a real, definite, solidified solution for some of the areas where XRP is definitely lacking when compared to the other chains. The other chains of DeFi, they have staking. XRP really can't have staking unless they decide to use part of that escrow for staking. They can have AMMs, although the AMMs can auto rebalance, but they do need to fix the problem with the pools. They said on Twitter, we've identified a discrepancy in a few AMM pools, which transactions are not executing as intended. Our engineering team is working to resolve the issue alongside community participants. Out of an abundance of caution, it's best not to deposit new funds into AMM pools for now, and those holding LP tokens consider redeeming them. So they're wanting to take the funds out. It does not look like they've been hacked or anything. It does not look like they've actually lost any of the funds, but you should probably stop depositing for the time being. I'm sure it'll be resolved soon if it hasn't been resolved already, and things will get down as usual. I don't know how much TVL they have, but hopefully their TVL actually can come up and they can become a lucrative investment again, although they will have to compete with other platforms that already have a very large DeFi community and a very large TVL. Binance had a Russian successor called COMEX. That Russian successor is now getting pwned. It is shutting down. COMEX previously remained silent about its founders or key executives, but admitted having some further Binance Russia veterans in the team. But they are closing down. They're halting operations. I don't really know if there's corruption or anything in there, or someone took the money and ran, or like Vladimir Putin just decided to shut it down. No one really knows. They just posted an announcement that it's halting deposits and closing down new registrations. And I do think that is a signal of it completely shutting down. We have to announce the gradual suspension of operations on the COMEX platform. Yes, they are dead. Why are they dead? I don't really know. Maybe they have to curtail everything for the war effort. Who really knows? But I think this almost ends official crypto in Russia, because remember, they booted Binance out and this was supposed to replace it. And I don't think, besides this, I don't really know how much they actually have left. As previously reported, Binance hinting at exiting Russia in early September, which they did, as top local executives, including Vice President of Eastern Europe, Gleb Korstrov, stepped down. A few weeks later, Binance claimed it sold its entire Russian business to newly created exchange COMEX. But we know that corruption is a huge problem in the Russian Federation, so it could be very much corruption and like insider trading or insider business that led to the shutdown of COMEX, but we don't know for sure. The mysterious deal quickly sparked chatter among crypto enthusiasts who saw lots of similarities between Binance and COMEX websites. I personally think what happened is like Binance technically exited Russia, but basically they just renamed themselves COMEX more or less, and now it's shutting down as well. At the time of the sale, Russia was the top market in terms of user visits on Binance.com, accounting for 6.9% of total visits, but obviously Binance is still alive and well. This might also have something to do with the CZ case, and maybe Russia's facing international pressure. But since like Russia is basically hated by a lot of these influential and monetarily powerful nations anyways, this really shouldn't be much of a thing. And since Binance has already exited Russia, it should be even less of a thing. So I don't really know what's going on in there. Doesn't really look good for COMEX. Maybe some people are going to get jailed. Maybe some people will fall out of windows. But I'm sure the COMEX closure is going to come soon. So if you have any money in COMEX, which none of you should have any money in COMEX, by the way, because don't know if any of you are watching that are actually Russian or live in Russia. This is a kind of a big blow to the Russian crypto market. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.